What if Ned Stark exposed Joffrey Baratheon's true parentage while King Robert still drew breath? Let's explore the possibilities that might have been. Sunrise breaks over the Red Keep, its battlements glowing red and gold. Lord Eddard Stark emerges onto a high balcony, the weight of sleepless nights etched on his face. He clutches a thick tome of family lineages and takes a steadying breath. Below, King's Landing stirs to life, unaware that this day will see a revelation to rock the realm at its core. Lord Eddard Stark has discovered a dangerous truth. In these pages lies the doom of House Baratheon's royal claim, if Ned dares speak it in public. War or peace, life or death, all hinges upon whether the hand of the king upholds his honor and reveals the truth. Thunderclouds gather to the west, as if heralding a storm. Ned Stark closes the book, eyes grim with resolve.
My king must know, the realm must know, there is no other path.
The scene shifts to the Tower of the Hand, where Ned paces within his private solar. An ancient Maester's tome, the lineages and histories of the great houses, lies open on his desk. Beside it are scraps of notes in Ned's painstaking script, listing all recorded Baratheon children, each black of hair. The contradiction is stark. Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen, all golden tressed. Over countless nights, Ned Stark has torn apart every family record at his disposal. Finally, the pieces form a single, shocking portrait. Robert Baratheon's so-called heirs share no blood with him. Arya Stark, unruly hair framing watchful grey eyes, peeks in from the open doorway.
Father, are we leaving soon? You asked us to be ready.
Arya, have you seen your sister? I need both of you prepared. Times may grow perilous.
Arya glances down at the table, glimpsing the lines of genealogy. Ned promptly shuts the book. His voice softens.
Fetch Sansa. Both of you must be ready to travel if I give the word. Trust me in this, child.
Arya nods, uncertain but obedient, vanishing through the corridor. Ned exhales, feeling the gravity of what he must do. A soft rap at the door signals Sir Barristan Selmy, the venerable Kingsguard knight.
My Lord Hand, King Robert has summoned you to the throne room. He and Lord Renly are bickering again over the day's hunts. Best not to delay.
Ned picks up the heavy tome, meeting Sir Barristan's gaze.
Sir Barristan, you are a man of honor. What I reveal will shake the realm. I need your sword at my side if...
Barristan's face darkens.
I serve the king, my lord, yet I know your character. If you say the realm is in danger, I will stand with you. Lead on.
They depart together, heading into the labyrinthine hallways that wind toward the throne room. Tension coils in each footstep. Light from high windows slants across cold stone, as if illuminating a path Ned cannot avoid. The throne room bustles with courtiers, guards, and lesser lords. King Robert lounges on the Iron Throne, eyes bloodshot from a night of drinking. Lord Renly stands near him, frustration evident. Queen Cersei glides in from another entrance, flanked by Joffrey and a pair of Lannister guards. Myrcella and Tommen remain absent, likely at their lessons. The hush that falls upon Ned's arrival is profound.
Brother, at least hear Ned out.
Robert waves him off, half bored, half irritated.
Fine, fine, Ned, speak. You look like a man attending his own funeral.
Ned's hand tightens around the old lineage book. He steps forward, voice unwavering, though his heart pounds.
Your Grace, my loyalty compels me to say what I have discovered. I fear you have been deceived about the parentage of your children.
Silence, thick as winter ice, descends. Cersei's lips tighten. Joffrey stiffens, a scowl twisting his features. King Robert narrows his eyes.
You speak nonsense, Stark. My children, what do you mean?
Ned holds aloft the tome, pages rustling.
Every Baratheon in recorded history has had black hair, until Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen. And I have reason to believe they are not yours at all.
He does not mention the incest first, hoping Robert will demand it. The revelation itself is enough to turn heads. Joffrey's face flares crimson.
You lie, Stark! Guards, seize him at once!
But Robert raises a staying hand. Confusion and anger warring across his face. He snatches the lineage book Ned offers, scanning the entries with a growing frown.
Every Baratheon, black of hair. My father, my grandfather, even my bastard children.
He trails off. Cersei stands statue still, gaze flicking between Robert and Ned.
Do not continue this, Eddard. The realm would never forgive such insult.
Your Grace, these children have golden hair because their true father is...
He cannot finish. Joffrey lunges forward, hand on his sword's hilt. In the same moment, a side door opens, revealing Jaime Lannister in gilded armor, flanked by Lannister house guards. They move with lethal grace.
You should have held your tongue, Stark.
Ser Barristan and the gold cloaks loyal to Ned draw steel. Uproar sweeps the throne room. Robert snaps upright from the throne, face turning purple.
Jaime, what is the meaning of this? Cersei, oh gods!
Realization dawns. The monstrous truth seeps in. The man before him fathered the children Robert believed were his. Betrayal ignites. Robert leaps to his feet, voice reverberating through the hall.
Cersei, answer me, is this true?
Silence. Cersei's trembling lips part, but no denial comes. Ned sees the flicker in her eyes. She will not feign innocence. Her silence is as good as confession. Robert's breath rattles with fury.
You dare, woman. Lannisters, all of you, put down your steel or I'll have your heads. That includes yours, Kingslayer.
Jaime's knuckles whiten on his sword's pommel. Joffrey shrieks.
Father, no, I mean...
He falls silent, undone by the slip of calling Jaime father. The entire court stares aghast. Then conflict erupts. Lannister guards lunge at Ned, but are intercepted by gold cloaks. Jaime crosses blades with Barristan Selmy, their steel shrieking. Ned rushes to aid Barristan. Sparks fly. Jaime's skill is fierce, but two formidable knights and Ned's determined strokes hem him in. A slash from Barristan's blade grazes Jaime's flank, forcing the Kingslayer to drop to a knee.
7 hells.
Furious and bleeding, Jaime yields under Ned's sword point. Across the room, Joffrey is seized by 2 gold cloaks. Queen Cersei is cornered by a ring of armed men, icy disdain on her face. Robert strides forward, fists clenched.
Lock them all away. Cersei the boy, that spineless whelp Tom and Myrcella, wherever she is. Jaime too, all traitors.
The realm stands on the precipice of madness, yet Robert's word, for now, is law. The Lannisters are subdued, their greatest secret exposed. With Joffrey's lineage revealed, King Robert Baratheon moves swiftly to secure his power. Yet, swift justice often invites swift reprisal. Word spreads that Lord Tywin Lannister summons his bannermen. War drums echo through the western hills. Inside the Great Hall, Robert broods upon the Iron Throne. Ned stands near, newly reinstated as the Hand of the King. A ripple of tension electrifies the court. This is no typical day's business.
Gods be good, Ned. My wife, my children, all lies. The Lannisters would tarnish the throne for their own gain. I'll see Tywin's head on a spike before I relent.
Ned meets Robert's gaze uncertain.
Your Grace, if we keep the children imprisoned, Lord Tywin will never yield. Their well-being is his main leverage. We risk an open siege if we show no willingness to negotiate.
Negotiate? They slept with my wife, fathered me golden-haired bastards, and tried to kill you in my own throne room. If Tywin wants a fight, he'll have it.
The next few days confirm Ned's fears. Roads to the capital are severed by Lannister outriders. Trade grinds to a halt. The threat of siege grows real. In the Red Keep's lesser courtyard, Ned organizes gold cloak patrols to keep order in the city. Rations are counted. The stockpiles are found wanting.
We must stretch what little food we have, or risk riots. Ser Barristan, dispatch men to calm the streets. Lord Renly, please speak sense to Robert. He must see that capturing children fuels Tywin's rage.
Renly sets his jaw in frustration.
I've tried, Ned, but my brother's mood darkens daily. I fear only forced victory will ease his mind.
Meanwhile, in the dungeon's dim corridors, Jaime Lannister lies on a straw pallet, his side bandaged. When Ned enters with a pair of guards, Jaime's eyes flare.
Come to gloat, Stark? You should have stuck to lording over snow. King's Landing is no place for men who claim to have honor.
Ned's voice is controlled.
You set your sword against the king's own men, in defense of your incestuous secret. I gloat over nothing. I'm here to see if you'll show remorse.
Jaime's laugh is hollow.
Remorse? For loving my sister? Or for siring children who'll never know freedom again? Your dear friend Robert wants to butcher them or use them as hostages. Cersei must be proud.
Ned's jaw tightens. He leaves without another word. Tyrion Lannister is not in the city. There's no cunning voice to quell Tywin's fury. The tension escalates. From the castle ramparts, Ned observes that across the Blackwater Rush, Lannister banners multiply each day. Smoke from burning farmland blackens the skies, creating a foreboding horizon. Lord Tywin Lannister's approach is unstoppable, and King Robert refuses any parley. The city teeters on the brink. Grain runs low, tempers run high, and Ned Stark stands at a crossroads. Before long, the Lannister host encircles King's Landing. Within the city, hunger gnaws at the small folk, and rumors spread of Tywin's unstoppable might. Yet Robert Baratheon, fueled by betrayal, stands defiant. The capital braces for war. Atop the city walls, Ned inspects a line of archers. Below, tens of thousands of soldiers wait under Lannister standards. The gold lion on red cloth glints in the morning sun. King Robert climbs the steps, donned in battered armor.
We'll give them nothing. If Tywin dares an assault, we'll fight him from the walls. And if the gates should fail, steel yourself for a bloodbath.
Ned looks out at the sea of tents and siege engines beyond the plain.
Your Grace, if they starve us, King's Landing cannot hold out indefinitely. Already, we have bread riots in Flea Bottom. Gold cloaks have broken up 2 separate mobs. The city is unstable.
Robert's expression darkens. An uneasy hush passes between them. That evening, the Lannister lines tighten, aiming to control all roads into the capital. A siege is formalized. Barricades block commerce. Within King's Landing, the price of a loaf skyrockets.
I told you, Ned, it would come to this. My brother is too proud.
A battered messenger arrives from the Rose Road, panting from his horse's strain.
Lord Tywin has cut off the southern approach. No wagons, no relief can get through.
Near the royal stables, Ned, Renly, and Ser Barristan plan a defensive strategy.
We must organize daily patrols, keep the peace, ration the food. Lord Renly, see if there's a route to bring in supplies from the eastern side.
Barristan nods grimly.
I serve the king, my lord, yet I know your character. If you say the realm is in danger, I will stand with you. Lead on.
In the dungeons, Joffrey howls in righteous fury to anyone who will listen, proclaiming his rightful place, though all know the truth. Myrcella and Tommen remain confined in more comfortable quarters, guarded around the clock. Queen Cersei is locked in her own tower suite. Tensions run high, the city broiling under late summer heat and fear. One night, a distant clang of steel resonates. Lannister outriders attempt to test the city's northern gates. The gold cloaks repel them, but not without losses. Anxious watchers atop the walls see funeral pyres glowing across Tywin's camp. In return, the crown's archers light flaming arrows, launching them at Lannister tents. The sky flickers with fire, screams rising in the dark. So begins the siege. Each day brings chaos to the capital's streets. With supplies dwindling, King Robert's temper flares. Ned Stark struggles to maintain control while war encroaches from every side. Stalemate looms over King's Landing, sapping morale. Many wonder if Tywin will ever break his encirclement. But war rarely waits for one front to settle. Other great lords soon add their banners to the fray. From the narrow windows of Maegor's Holdfast, Ned pores over fresh reports with Lord Varys, who glides in quietly.
My Lord Hand, word from the Reach. Mace Tyrell rallies a mighty host. No one is certain which side he intends to favor.
Ned eyes the spymaster warily.
The Tyrells fought for the Targaryens once, but they've also allied with Robert in the past. If they side with Tywin, we are undone. If they side with us, we might break this siege. What do your little birds say?
Varys folds his hands.
They whisper that Mace Tyrell sees a chance to rise in King Robert's esteem. Also, he has little love for Lannister arrogance. Nothing is certain, of course.
Ned's mind flicks to the starving masses. Flea-bottom riots grow daily. Men brandish clubs, demanding bread. The king's men do their best to quell the unrest, but each new dawn sees fresh fights. Through it all, Robert drowns his rage in wine. Ned finds him in the Great Hall, feasting on meager rations that they can ill afford to spare.
Your Grace, please. These supplies must feed the city. We can't...
Robert swats a goblet away, sloshing wine across the table.
Don't lecture me, Ned. My city, my throne, my damn rules. Tywin wants to starve us, does he? Let him come break down our gates and face my hammer.
Thunder crashes outside. Storm clouds gather over the city. A day later, horns and drums echo from the southern road. The Tyrell banners, golden roses on a green field, emerge in the distance. The watchers on the walls cannot tell if the Tyrells come to join Tywin or to fight him. Tension spikes. Lannister outriders greet Mace Tyrell's vanguard, presumably to invite an alliance. Then, abruptly, the Tyrell cavalry lowers their lances, charging the Lannister lines instead. Pandemonium ensues. City watchmen cheer from the walls, watching in awe as a wave of Tyrell knights smashes into Tywin's flank. War horns bellow from King's Landing as Robert spies an opportunity to strike from within.
Open the gates! Baratheon's with me! We'll crush Tywin between hammer and anvil!
Within minutes, the city gates fling wide. Robert leads a fierce cavalry sortie, Ned riding at his side, Barristan Selmy behind them. The thunder of hooves echoes across the plain. Lannister forces spin to face this sudden onslaught, but they're caught in a deadly pincer. Tyrell, steel from the front, Baratheon vengeance from behind. Jaime Lannister remains imprisoned, unaware that his father's lines are unraveling outside. Tywin, forced to make a fighting retreat, curses as thousands of Lannister soldiers fall to pikes and arrows. The battlefield becomes a swirl of death, churned mud, and clashing steel. In the swirl of chaos, Tywin narrowly avoids capture by cutting down 2 Tyrell knights. His personal guard forms a wedge, carving an escape route. Lord Tywin's proud host shatters on the field outside King's Landing, scattering westward. He flees with only a fraction of his men, leaving the city saved, but not without cost. As the Lannisters rout, battered survivors abandon tents, supply lines, and siege engines. Cheers erupt from the city walls, answered by triumphant roars of King Robert's cavalry. Evening sets in, the sky stained crimson like the battlefield below. Tyrell banners fly high beside Baratheon stags. For the moment, King's Landing stands victorious. At twilight, horns blare in celebratory notes. The Red Keep bustles with Mace Tyrell's arrival. Robed in finery, he presents himself to King Robert in the throne room, standing knee-deep in a swirl of courtiers who clamour for recognition.
Your Grace, House Tyrell is pleased to offer its humble assistance. We could not allow Lannisters to hold the Crown City hostage.
Robert embraces him with a hearty slap on the back, face flushed with relief and leftover battlefield adrenaline.
Well done, Mace. You've done the realm a great service. Name your price, man, for you've saved us from a lengthy siege.
Mace Tyrell's smile widens, dreams of advancement dancing in his eyes.
In due time, Your Grace. For now, I ask merely to share in the victory feast.
And so, the Red Keep roars with hasty celebration. Soldiers and small folk alike rejoice at the lifted blockade. Horns blow, minstrels strum lively tunes, and kegs of arbor wine are tapped with wild abandon. Ned Stark, uneasy, accepts a goblet from a passing servant. He sips lightly, scanning the hall.
Though we've won this battle, Tywin is not defeated. He'll rally again. And with Cersei and her children still captives, he has every reason to strike back.
Renly glances around at the cheering throng.
Robert believes a decisive victory means he can hold them all. We must remain vigilant, Ned. The realm's safety depends on it.
In a corner of the hall, Cersei Lannister has been brought forth under guard, forced to watch the revels. She stands rigid, hair dishevelled, a bruise darkening her cheek from where a guard forced compliance. Robert confronts her with a cup of wine in hand.
Did you hear the news, woman? Your father fled, tail between his legs. How does that please you? The proud Tywin Lannister, beaten.
Cersei's eyes glint with anger.
He will return. He never forgets a slight, nor does he forgive.
Robert only laughs, draining his cup. The music soars, but beyond the walls, the field remains littered with the dead. Tywin's threat might be battered, yet remains. Moreover, rumours swirl that Stannis Baratheon readies a fleet from Dragonstone. Unclear whether he comes to support Robert or to seize the throne for himself if Robert shows further weakness. Meanwhile, Varys flits among the guests, listening. A certain tension lingers in the shadows, hinting that the realm's strife is far from over. Ned, ever solemn, slips out to the ramparts. Beneath the moonlight, he observes small folk clearing away the corpses left in the battlefield's wake. The stench of death is thick.
I've done what honor demanded, yet blood flows all the same. And we still have no settled heir.
He recalls Joffrey's shrill protests in the dungeon, Tommen's confused tears, Mycella's frightened silence. Each child is a symbol of Lannister deception, yet also innocence in a brutal game. Ned closes his eyes, weighed by the realization that his truth-telling has created new storms. The immediate threat to King's Landing is quashed. Joffrey's secret is known, Cersei and her brood remain captives, and Tywin Lannister's army lies shattered upon the fields. Yet the Seven Kingdoms will not soon forget Ned Stark's explosive revelation. Within the next fortnight, partial normalcy returns to the capital. Markets reopen cautiously, though the scars of the siege remain. The Tyrells request handsome rewards, eager to see their influence expand. Robert, still king, but now a man scorned by heartbreak and betrayal, buries himself in feasts and fleeting hunts. Ned Stark, haunted by each decision, tries to restore order.
Your Grace, with the children in custody, Tywin will likely strike again. We must ready the realm for further conflict. I beg you to consider a measured approach.
Robert scowls from the throne.
I know Tywin's cunning, but now we have the Tyrells on our side. The city's safe, and I have that damned family of Lannisters locked away. Let him come.
Rumours from the western roads confirm Tywin's retreat to regroup in the Westerlands. Ravens from the north confirm that Robb Stark, Ned's eldest son, has called House Stark's banners, readying to aid his father if war flares again. From the sea, watchers report sightings of Stannis' vessels. The realm stands poised for further upheaval. As Ned departs the throne room, Sansa approaches in a swirl of pastel silks, tears threatening at the corners of her eyes.
Father, what will become of Joffrey and the others? Will they be executed?
Ned's shoulders sag. He places a gentle hand on her arm.
That fate is for the king to decide. We must trust in Robert's justice.
Arya, eavesdropping in the shadows, steps forward, face set in determination.
Robert's justice is half a mug of wine and a hammer blow. This city stinks of blood.
Sansa glares at Arya, but holds her tongue. Ned nods wearily, leading them away with a paternal hand on each shoulder, hoping to shield them from the Red Keep's brutality. The scene shifts to the dungeons, where Jaime Lannister stares at flickering torchlight, haunted by the clank of chains. Cersei, sullen in her locked tower, nurses her loathing. Joffrey, proud even in captivity, seethes for vengeance. Meanwhile, in a small courtyard outside the castle, Mace Tyrell's men are drilling. Tyrell banners flap above newly constructed pavilions. The atmosphere bristles with suppressed tension, for alliances in Westeros are as fickle as the winds. They aided the king once, but tomorrow might yield a different plan. The realm's politics revolve around advantage, and Mace Tyrell's ambitions run deep. So ends this chapter in our alternate tale. Please like if you enjoyed the video.